Well, welcome back, everybody. Good to see your bright and shining eyes anyway. I think that all of us can maybe agree that we feel like we've been through the ringer the last few months. Ever remember back in the day when they had the washing machines that had that wringer that you would dry the clothes and everything would come out flattened, and I kind of feel that that's a part of what our society's been going through. So our theme this month is conscious connections, and I have to admit that the reason I picked that, well, I had in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something about community and connection and so forth, but our Anton, the conference that I'm with, or the association, Affiliated New Thought Network, they are instituting a new program, and it's called Conscious Connections. And I happen to sign up to be on the committee as participating on Conscious Connections. So it was just happened to be on my desk, and my eyes fell to those words, and I thought, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about this month, is conscious connections. And the theme for today, the topic for today then, is I'll be with you. And when I brought up that topic, what I'm talking about is the I am. The I am that is in every one of us, fully in full force, and not excluded from anyone. And so that I am will be with us always and always and always. And, I have to tell you, this whole global situation has just we thought we were dealing with one thing, and then it escalates. And just when we think that we're going to be able to get back to the new normal, then all, quote unquote, hell breaks loose, and right in our backyard. I, living in La Mesa for over 30 years, raising our kids there, boy, it was such a shock, really, to see what happened there. And I have to say that I honestly believe that shining the light on police brutality is a good thing. We need to recognize that because it happens. There's no doubt about it. But I also think that it's important in the way that we're doing that to not make racial division something that we need to highlight. I'd love it if all of us could, if these masks weren't just hiding our mouths so that we couldn't see your face and your smile. Everybody's saying, oh, I miss your smiles, I miss your smiles. Wouldn't it be lovely if we had some sort of covering that would just cover the color of our skin so that we wouldn't really know what color somebody was or wasn't? I mean, because that way the actions themselves are what would be noted and what would be addressed, whether they be appropriate or inappropriate actions, and not just based on a person's color of their skin. So, again, I don't really watch the news all that much, you know me, but boy, when I saw it happening in La Mesa, I was saddened. Because I think this is happening in more places from what I understand. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink of water. That there's peaceful demonstrations, and that's great. People are protesting and bringing attention to what's going on. But then I understand that once the locals are doing their thing and peacefully assembling, then there's another group of people that are coming in to doing the destruction. And then you can have all sorts of theories about all of that. I mean, it's just amazing, the road that, you can go down on all of these ways. And I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole this morning. But what I do want to do is to ask us to think about, well, what is it that I can do about it? And some people will be called to do protests or whatever, peaceful assembly. It'd be nice if they peacefully assembled with the rules going on with the masks and the distancing, but anyway. Well, what can I do about it? My hint, my suggestion to you would be to follow your heart. My suggestion to you is to go within and think about the topic of today. I'll be there for you. Knowing that this I am that is within me, it's within everyone, equally so, no matter what. And to recognize and get the comfort, get the assurance, get the realization that that is true, no matter what the outside appearance may look like. No, not even no matter what the actions that are being taken. That deep within each and every person there is this global, united, I call it a golden thread, and it sees everything as equal. And I believe that when we go within and consciously unite with it, consciously allow it to fill us, it responds to us. It responds in such a way that will probably surprise us. Do you know what I did yesterday? Speaking of surprises, shocked the heck out of me. I was sitting there, and I've told you that I've been working on getting my file cabinets cleaned out. Remember, I made that commitment that I was going to get them all cleaned out by the first day in spring. Remember that I said that in January? Well, since then, of course, spring has sprung, and then I had to admit on one of my talks that I was doing from my office that, no, it hasn't quite happened yet. I'll do it by summer, first day in summer. So I have made some progress. There's no doubt about it. I've made some progress, but I will say that on the floor in my office, there are files that if they were stacked all together would probably be 2 feet high. And they're on the floor of the office. Now you'd think that that would motivate me to do something about them. But no, I'm looking at my office going, look at all these books on this bookshelf. I think I don't need all those books anymore. I think I'm going to be able to weed some of those out. And it just came over me, and now when those books went on the bookshelf, this was 3 years ago, Lori helped me. She came over, and we got all the books organized by author, alphabetically. Although it was just the A's were together, and the B's were together, and the C's were together. It wasn't like they were totally like all the Chopra books weren't together, all the Holmes books weren't together, but they were in the right letter. In any event, so I started weeding through, found a couple books that I had been missing, quote unquote. They were right there, didn't know it. And now I have room to put the 20 new books that I want to put in there on the shelf. And in a way that I want to read these books, and they've just been sitting around stacking themselves up, 20 books, that's deep too. And so now I have the room on the shelves to be able to put those where I can see them and get to them and respond, give them my attention that I've been wanting to do. And it feels good. It felt really good to be able to say, well, I'm not done with it, by the way. They're still not quite all organized, but that's what I'm getting. So I'm asking you to sit back, think about what are the promptings of your heart. See, I was shocked that this came to me to do, but when it did, I thought, I've always said, listen, ask, listen, and follow directions. That's all you can do. Ask, listen, and follow directions. And so if I don't understand it, I'm still going to follow it anyway. So what for you, now granted, this is just a clearing a thing for me, but what is it for you that you've been motivated, quote unquote, to do recently, maybe actually years ago? What have you been motivated to do that you've just been putting off? What is that inner voice telling you, prompting you to do? I'm asking you this week to take the time to go within, to become at one with this being of I am that's always there for you. Know it is always there for you, and to ask it, What is it that that you want me to be ready to do this week? And again, it might be well into what's going on with our society coming right now. But when you do, if you take one step toward whatever the goal is, whatever the idea is, Providence then will step in and help carry you through it in a way that you would never have imagined before. So I want you to look at how you can give your own individual loving energy out, whether it be to the person that lives with you, whether it be to your next door neighbor, whether it will be to a community as a whole. I want you to look around and see what it is that I can do that motivates me, that makes my heart sing, to give in that way. I want to let you know, our church is a tithing church. You know that we tithe 10% of all of our income back to where we're fed spiritually. Well, in the last few months, our board agreed that where we've been fed spiritually are a lot of these organizations that are giving support to the community. So I wanted to let you know that in March, we gave $380 to the Alpine Community Center because they provide meals and they provide services for our local people. In April, we gave $447 to the San Diego Food Bank. We got a letter back from the food bank saying that that was giving over 2,000 meals to people. And so I want you to think about, how am I giving of myself, of my time, talent, and treasure? I thought that it was quite interesting that in April, when we were not assembled at all, we had one of our highest donations of contributions that month. You know, $447, that's $4,000 that we received in donations. And I have to say that it was from a very handful of people who were remembering that we're here, you know, that we are doing our work. One, though, person sent in $60 cash in an envelope with no return address, and it was just postmarked from San Diego. No idea who it was. But remember to recognize that your energy, what energy you are putting out, is multiplied. So whether it be you're helping someone, doing someone, or monies as well, that is your calling. That's what this beautiful divine being wants for you to do, is to share this energy that you are. In my own personal life, I donated some monies to an organization called Center for Spiritual Awareness. It's in Georgia, and it is run by Roy Eugene Davis. He was a disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. He was ordained by Yogananda in 1951. In any event, I sent them some money, and it surprised me that they sent me back some books. And imagine that. Need to store more books. But one of them was a daily read. So I got to counting how many daily reads do I have now. I'm up to 8, including the 2 calendars that I have. And then that's what goes for me. And I wanted to share with you one of these recent readings that I think is poignant for today. Do you know someone who can benefit from your compassionate actions? What can you now do to help them? While charitable, in parentheses, loving, thoughts and prayers are supportive, appropriate actions may also be needed. Think about the real needs of people whom you know and do what you can to assist them to learn about, awaken to, and actualize their innate potential. To actualize their innate potential. Wonderful way to look at it. As I wrote the thought for the week, and as we shared earlier, these stories of people helping other people, the toddler wiping the tear from the man on the TV and two guys saving this drowning lamb that looked like they could have just been swept off into the rapids themselves. And then the guy that's cutting the hair for people who are homeless. How great is that? So I believe that these actions confirm what we really are inside, that we are loving, giving, supportive beings. And I have actually majorly been enjoying the readings from this last month's Science of Mind magazine, written by Reverend David Alt. And I wanted to share with you one that I thought was significant for today. He says, Scottish author and minister Ian McLaren is attributed as the original source for the popular quote, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." I'm sure we've all heard that. Kindness towards others, ourselves, and the world is attributable to viewing everything through spiritual eyes. Kindness understands how forgetfulness is part of the collective soul curriculum, and that each of us are tasked to look beyond the surface to the essential of all souls. Kindness dissolves our divisiveness, even our raging, and we begin to peel away the heavy veils of battling that many endure. It is the foundation of Stephen Covey's words, "Seek first to understand." Commitment to kindness opens our spiritual eyes, resuscitates our compassionate heart, and begins conscious causation with transformative ripple effects. The affirmation is, kindness is my superpower. Remember that everyone is fighting some sort of battle. We are here, I think, as a collective to make that battle easier for others. The spiritual teacher Ram Dass put it this way, and I love this analogy. I hope you can remember it and put it to work. When you go out into the woods and you look at trees, see all the different trees. And some of them are bent, and some of them are straight, and some of them are evergreens, and some of them are whatever. And you look at the tree and you allow it. You see why it is that way. You sort of understand that it didn't get enough light, that's why it turned that way. And you don't get all emotional about it. You just allow it. You appreciate the tree. The minute you get near humans, you lose all that. And you are constantly saying, you are to this, or I'm to this. That judgment mind comes in. So I practice turning people into trees, which means appreciating them just the way they are. I love that. Just turn them into a tree. Appreciate them just the way they are. Follow your heart this week. Know that this divine being that is within you is for you. It's there to bring you further along, further out of your individual self into the grand globe scheme of things. I believe that each of us are here to contribute in only the way we can to this global community right now. Be aware to go inside. Allow that loving divine presence that you know is there for you to guide you, to lead you, to say, what is it that I can do? How can I be kind to someone else? How can I give of what I am from my fullness? And know that I'll be there for you. We all will be for each other. Love you. Namaste.